Hello, dear friends. This was a sudden late night thought. I should really be going to bed, but I felt like talking to you. This is the story from the Tibetan tradition of somebody called Tsup Nanobo. Means jewel in the crown, jewel in the forehead. Very appropriate. Today is the day they were celebrating the Queen's Jubilee, but it's nothing to do with her. This man, jewel in the crown, was very, very corpulent. He had rolls and rolls of fat all over his body, a bit like Bibendum, the Michelin character. And he had one very precious object, a precious stone. And he used to always keep it on him. One day he was very busy and he lost it. And of course you know what it's like when you lose something very precious for you. You start thinking, where was I? You go back, you follow all of where you were, you look on the ground, you check your pockets dozens of times. If he had pockets, it was a long time ago. And anyway, after hours of looking and going over everything again and again and again and again, he sits down in a state of catastrophe. His jewel is gone. Not only was it his main wealth, he was really attached to it. So in tears he sat down and he put his hand in his head. And he felt something hard. And he remembered that at one point he'd tucked the jewel in between two huge folds of fat on his forehead. And he was very relieved. So often we look for something and it's been there all the time. We look far away and it's so close to us. In Dharma we have all of these teachings of the Buddha. They've become a religion. They've become something very organized. And the Lamas will tell you about these 84,000 aspects of Dharma and so on, and all the hundreds of volumes. As long as we see it as something out there, we've missed the point. It's the gathered advice of the Buddha to all different people. It all comes down to one thing. This is our own heart, your own heart. There is so much goodness in you. It's really there. Kindness. Love. Love is the thing we're all missing. Like jewel in the forehead, we look for it. We look for it in other people. Sometimes we find it. We look for it in music. Sometimes music stirs the heart, opens up some sweetness, goodness inside. But as long as we look for the triggers outside, we're very dependent and we live in poverty because the triggers aren't found that often. So all of the Buddha's teachings are to help you find that sweetness, that goodness that's inside you all the time, without this fragile, sometimes hopeless search out there somewhere. Even through religion, you could meditate for years and years and years and not get the point. You do all the different techniques, say all the different prayers, become very learned in Buddhism. But they're means to an end. So, please, Look inside yourself. Trust the goodness. So many have found it. Look for it till you find it. Enjoy it and share it with many, many other people. There's a great need at present. Thanks for listening.